So for his take on what this means for Air Canada customers, we're joined live now by Gabor Lukic, president of Air Passenger Rights. Gabor, thank you for joining us. What should people and families losing thousands of dollars just to get home do about the situation in the aftermath of this?
Good morning. It's great to be with you. So I hope that anybody who was told by Air Canada that there are no flights for them has already arranged for them for alternate transportation and paid for it. Let me be clear. You have a right to alternate transportation as long as you refuse to accept a refund. Make sure you don't accept a refund. Once you have gotten your ticket on a different airline, you have come home to Canada, your next step is sending Air Canada the bill with a demand for payment within 30 days. I would send it to Air Canada's chief legal officer by email with a letter of demand attached. Very short, professional email letter saying, this is what flight I had originally. It was canceled. Air Canada failed to rebook me in accordance with the APPR. It left me no option but to buy myself a ticket. I incurred expense amount X. Please pay for it in accordance with the law and the APPR and the Montreal Convention if you travel internationally. And if Air Canada doesn't pay within 30 days, on the 31st day, I would serve Air Canada with small claims court papers. I would not go to the federal regulator, the Canadian Transportation Agency. The federal government is part of the problem, not part of the solution in this context. They have a huge backlog and they are unlikely to help you.
Gabor, I'm curious how you think that what's happened here, the horror stories we've heard from, travelers stuck either overseas or in different parts of the country or right here in Toronto, Air Canada's main hub, how this might actually impact or change passenger rights. I'm thinking about a conversation we had with John Gradak earlier who compared the European coverage when you're stranded versus the Canadian coverage. Do you think there's any chance that this changes anything?
We have been urging for European-style passenger rights for about 2 decades. Unfortunately, even when the APPR have been drafted, the government have been advised by us that they are creating loopholes and chose to ignore it. I would very much hope that this crisis is going to show the government yet again that our predictions about the loopholes in the APPR have been correct, that we foresaw the problem as it happened in a number of other issues. When you think about the refund versus vouchers scandal back in 2020 during the pandemics, these were all issues we predicted in advance. We, in 2017, 18, 19, we have made a number of submissions or presentations to the government, and we flagged it to the government, you are creating a loophole here. This is going to affect passengers severely and adversely. They have not been listening then. I'm hoping that perhaps now they are going to listen.
Okay, Gabor, last question for you before we let you go. In terms of travel insurance going into the future, fingers crossed, no more strikes in the future, but can air passengers get a type of insurance that would cover a strike like the one we just saw?
Many insurances don't cover such situations, and what I have been seeing is that passengers are very disappointed that their expenses wouldn't be covered. It very much depends from insurance to insurance. I don't claim to be an insurance expert, but what I can tell you, what I do know is that with an insurance, it is only the risks which are spelled out in the insurance policy which are covered. So, if the insurance is for a broken arm and you broke your leg, you're out of luck because your insurance policy just covers a broken arm. It is a very different relationship than the relationship you have with an airline where you have some contractual rights under the contract of carriage, plus you have the Montreal Convention if you travel internationally, plus you have the APPR. So where you have some more statutory protections. An insurance policy is really like a contract for a very specific type of risk. And whether it covers strike or not and how much it covers, it varies, and just read the fine print.
Okay, yeah, the fine print. The devil's always in the details. Gabor, we appreciate your insight and expertise this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.